Hi, welcome to the Outdoor Traveler. I'm a wilderness backpacker, and I'm here to teach you how to enjoy a sport that has brought me so much joy. Unlike the survival shows that are on TV nowadays that try to teach you how hostile and dangerous nature could be, I'm going to show you just the reverse. That with the proper skills and preparation, you too can enjoy the remote wilderness year-round while remaining safe and comfortable. I'm going to show you step by step what equipment you need and how to properly use it in the field. I'm going to start with the very basics, and I'm going to work my way to more situation-specific information. The first lessons will be done indoors, and the later lessons will be done on my own backpacking trips to show you how to properly apply the knowledge I've given you. I hope you enjoy these instructional videos, but most importantly, I hope you learn something from them. First, let me start off by explaining what backpacking is. Wilderness backpacking, in its most simple definition, is a sport where you start at one place, walk to a different place where there's no pre-built shelter, sleep, and then walk again. For a lot of people, the enjoyment of the sport comes from what you see along your journey, and the general sense of peace gained from being so close to nature. It is only when you are comfortable with being in the wild that you can truly enjoy places like these, knowing that you're completely safe and prepared. With the right equipment and knowledge to properly use it, you can sit back and enjoy a sunset in the harshest conditions without fear of whether or not you'll make it back to your car. A typical backpacker is outfitted with clothing, cooking equipment, a form of shelter, and a way to carry and filter water, and of course a backpack to hold everything in. This covers all of your basic needs.
To start with, we'll learn about backpacks. Your backpack is one of the hardest things for a beginner to buy. You want one that's large enough to hold everything you need, but is as light as possible. You also want it to fit comfortably and be durable. When you start out, it's very hard to gauge the size of the pack you'll need. I myself have two packs for varying weather conditions.
The larger one I use in winter when more equipment is needed. The medium-sized one I use the rest of the year. Some people can get down to a very small pack if they don't use a food canister, travel in warm weather, and follow ultralight backpacking techniques. When you buy your first backpack, I recommend you get one that's around 5,000 cubic inches. This will allow you to carry a significant amount of gear without being overburdened by just the weight of the pack. If you buy one that is too small, you may run into problems if you try to go on longer trips or even on regular trips trying to get your beginner gear into the pack.
Your first backpack should not be purchased over the internet. Find your nearest sporting goods store and plan to spend about an hour trying on packs. Any good outfitter will have sandbags with labeled weights on them in their pack section. This will help you try on packs with a realistic weight. Trying them on empty can lead to a false fit and a poor purchase decision. A realistic weight is anywhere from 30 to 60 pounds. Also keep your eye out for backpacks with interchangeable waist belts, as this can help you find a better fit.
When your backpack is fully on your back and adjusted, you should feel most of the weight on your hips, some on the front of your chest, and little or none on the tops of your shoulders. Whenever you put on your pack, whether in the store or out in the woods, you should use the following procedure. The first thing you want to do is tuck in your shirt. If you have several layers on, only tuck in the thinner layers. Then you're going to want to make sure your pants are as high up on your waist as possible. The reason for this is to cut down on friction from the waist belt of your backpack. Over a full day of backpacking, your hips can get very sore and can blister. On a multi-day trip, this problem will compound itself daily. By reducing friction, you are reducing the likelihood that this will happen. Now it's time to put the backpack on. First, stand the backpack up. Then place your right hand on the right strap and your left on the handle.
Depending on the weight of the pack and your own physical condition, you can decide to pick the pack up with your legs or using just your arms and back.
Either way, you need to gently get the right strap on your right shoulder and then immediately get your left arm under the left strap. If you are left-handed, reverse this process. This may seem basic and trivial, but it is very important. A backpacker's backpack can weigh up to 60 pounds or more for harsher conditions. To toss that weight around recklessly could very easily tear a seam or rip off a shoulder strap, making the backpack useless. If this happens in the store or at home, you've caused nothing more than an irritation. If this happens when you're 30 miles away from civilization, you've created a very uncomfortable situation. This is why you must always try to distribute the weight across as many seams as possible, by lifting the pack while holding both the shoulder strap and the backpack's handle. Now that you have the backpack on, you need to get it properly fitted to your body. Recheck that your shirt is properly tucked in and your pants are jacked up. If you need to, you can lean forward to more easily slide the backpack up your body. We're now going to tighten the waist belt, but when doing so, you want to make sure that it is being tightened so that it will hug the top of your hips. You also want to make sure that the top of your pants, where the band or bunched up material is above the pressure zones of the waist belt. Tighten the belt down until just before it becomes uncomfortable. If you have a hard time tightening the belt, placing your palm against the belt and pulling like this often helps. The backpack is now being fully supported by your waist and will bang against you as you lean back and forth. The next step is to tighten the shoulder straps. First you will pull down on the main straps like this until the backpack is snug. Next you tighten the chest strap. The combination of these two adjustments go together. If you over-tighten one, you need to loosen the other.
Finding the balance between the two is something you'll have to do for yourself. Just remember that when your pack is fully adjusted, you want there to be as little friction as possible, you want the weight to feel evenly distributed, and you want your pack to be firmly against your back so that it moves with you. The final adjustment is one that people often forget, but it is very useful when trying to take weight off your shoulders, and you will definitely notice an improvement after a full day of backpacking.
There are two adjustments on the top of the shoulder straps here. You want to tighten these straps as much as you can without coming near ripping the seams. Depending on your pack fit, this may cause a space to show above your shoulders. A taller pack will help increase this gap.
Whether you will need one that is taller than recommended depends on how you feel when you put the pack on. If you feel the pack is pushing down on your shoulders too much, try a taller pack with the same size waist belt. Now that you've got the backpack on, the key things you want to consider other than fit are whether or not the backpack provides adequate ventilation to your back when wearing thin summer clothing, how durable the pack is, and whether or not the manufacturer provides extra support or warranties past what the retailer provides. You can find information about the packs you're considering on the web by reading reviews for those manufacturers. So now that you've adjusted the fit and walked around a bit, it's time to take the pack off. You basically want to follow the same steps as to put it on, just in reverse.
First you loosen all the straps in the reverse order that you tightened them. Start with the top shoulder straps, then the chest strap, then the main shoulder straps, and finally the belt. When everything is loose, unbuckle the waist belt.
If you wait to unbuckle until after you've loosened the belt, you put less wear and tear on the plastic. By loosening everything, you also make it easier to get it on and mold it to your body the next time you wear it.
Next, slip one arm out and slide the backpack down your other arm slowly, grabbing the pack's center handle as soon as possible. By gently placing your pack on the ground and not dropping it, you're helping keep the pack in good condition. Dropping 40 pounds on the ground in a big bag puts a lot of force on the sides of the bag and could cause a tear. Well, that's all for how to fit and care for your backpack. I know it's a very basic lesson, but it's one most beginners need to hear. In my next video, I'll be teaching you about clothing and how to be prepared for as many seasons as possible while buying as little as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video and the ones to come. I'm the Outdoor Traveler. See you next time.